Hey y'all. This video is to address discussion board posts because I feel like there's been a little bit of confusion about the discussion board posting and with the instructions and the overview on how to post. So when you first click on discussion forum or when you're in the module and you click on discussion board, it's going to take you to a screen that has a link at the top to the discussion boards and then an overview and instructions on how to post. This section is generic. It is in terms of to give you the directions on how to and an overview of the expectation because it is a graded discussion board. It is part of an assignment for the class. So you see it says below you will find guidelines and directions on how not to, with how and how to post to the discussion boards. Remember the discussion board posts are graded, so it's important that you post both your original response and replies and that they're done correctly. So it tells you, it walks you through how to post. If you don't know how to reply to a thread, then there's instructional videos there for you. So this is a great resource if you're unsure of what you're supposed to do. When to post. Okay, so this is where I think there's been a little bit of an issue along with some of the other examples that were given. The example is given for a particular course, but this example is in all of the courses throughout graduate programs in the College of Arts and Sciences and now our new graduate program. So this is not meant to direct you specifically for our discussion board. However, this is supposed to be an example for you of what to do and how to do it. So it tells you, like walks you through the work week begins on a Monday, same in our class at 12:01 a.m. The week concludes on Sunday at 11:59. On weeks where discussion board posts are due, you need to post your original discussion board post by Sunday night at 11:59. Okay, that works for our course too. And then your reply that following week. And so you see that on the course schedule where it says reply to your classmates. Any post or reply submitted after the deadline will not be accepted toward your grade. So you can subscribe to someone's post, and that way you'll know when a thread is ready. So what to post? You complete 2 steps. You select, and this gives you something a little more specific. So basically you address whatever the post prompt is. So the forum prompt provided in our class will be different than the example given to you on how to do a discussion board. So please don't think that you have to address something from another course. This is just simply a sample, a template for you to follow to give you an idea. It even goes into the tone of the email, that your tone is appropriate for the course and what we're doing. So just so you know, you're not having to address a specific module in another course. Okay, then we have Netiquette Policies linked for you, so you can go there to read, just to make sure, if you're not sure, that how to have professional dialogue or discourse, or what the expectation is of professional dialogue and discourse. Then examples of acceptable and unacceptable posts are there for you. This is where, again, these are just samples to show you what would be appropriate or inappropriate or acceptable or unacceptable. Your specific post should not have anything to do with the parable of the Good Samaritan. And I haven't read everyone, so I'm not like calling anybody out saying, hey, you posted that. I'm just saying it shouldn't, because this is just an example. But I have had a few emails where people say, what are we supposed to address? Are we supposed to address the parable or the prompt? So only address the prompt, but this is just to show you what is an acceptable that will get you points. So for example, full credit response, it's narrative. It explains the parable of the Good Samaritan. The post clearly states the method of interpretation as historical and accurately reflects a historical approach. It clearly points out what's viewed in the main themes of the parable. Okay, so it's just clear and it's informative. What gets you 0 points on the parable of the Good Samaritan is if you posted, the parable of the Good Samaritan reminds us to be kind to each other. Period. The above response, and this is all in your example, does not specify an interpretation method. use an interpretation method, or demonstrate what the reader's view of the main points are. So it's not detailed enough. It's not given enough information. So what your takeaway from this should be is that here are some examples of what will earn you points for the class and what will not, but not for you to address those specific topics. Then once you click on discussion boards, it takes you to our forums, and I'm going to go ahead and move that, and you'll see that prompt 1 is on chapter 2, Designs for Development. And this is where I talk about the range of participants in the course and how it's really caused me to grow and think differently about curriculum development. And I thank everyone for that, because growth is good. With that in mind, let's discuss the author's selected designs. Of the 5 designs outlined in the text, my limited scope leads me to think the most you could feasibly employ one of these designs in your teaching field. So everyone, even though it would maybe in a broader sense, you should find one of them that would work for you, in other words. Review these and then share about the one you feel like would work for you and tell us why. Okay, so that's your original post. Then next week on your schedule, you are going to be able to, so you posted by 9/3, so you are supposed to reply to a classmate's post in discussion board before midnight on 9/10 on Sunday the 10th. Okay, so replying, not just like, oh yeah, I agree, good point, but with a little bit more thought of maybe like how that's caused you to think about that for your specific area and what you can do in that area. I hope that this gives you a better idea of what is expected and why the discussion board posts take you to that intro forum. But just let me know if you have other questions. Have a great afternoon.